Okay, so we're about to dive in on the Slug Christ podcast, but first off, I got to give a shout out to our sponsor. That's right, it's High Effect, HIIEFFECT.com, or check out High Effect on Instagram. They make these amazing 2020 knockout pre-rolls that we're sponsored by and that we love. And they also make this 2020 Muzz syrup that we're very big fans of around here, and all kinds of amazing products. They're known around town as the Moonrock Champs. So we got to shout out High Effect and our boy TK, aka TK Ali Kimbro on Instagram. They kept us smoked out for this podcast, and now without further ado, let's get into the Slug Christ interview. Bang.
1, 2, 3.
No Jumper!
The coolest podcast in the world. We did it all in unison.
Sodded.
Where's your foreskin? It came off your mic.
What kind of two-bit opera? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You guys, on three. Guys, I'm counting us off. 1, 2, 3.
No Jumper.
The coolest podcast in the world. I gotta put these sunglasses on. I'm about to have a panic attack. What the fuck is up, Slug Christ?
Slugger.
Nothing. Doing a No Jumper interview.
Yeah, are you excited?
Yeah.
Slugger.
I heard this thing is like cool or something.
Yeah, like this might make you cool. Like this could
Really?
You stop being an underground rapper, all of a sudden you'll be a mainstream
I don't
rapper.
want to be any bigger than I already am. I'm already stressed out enough, dude.
That's how you feel?
Yeah, this shit sucks.
What, just being a star or what?
It comes with cool things, but it also comes with a lot of bullshit that you don't ever expect.
But this is what you signed up for. This is what you wanted, right?
Well, I mean, I wanted to be an artist and make music. I didn't want to be some person's, like, I didn't want to influence people in a bad way. I didn't want people to do, like, catch on to my lifestyle and do shit for me, like, to be like me. I wanted to make art and give people a window into someone else's soul. You know, I never wanted to influence anyone.
So you're saying it's weird for you when people come up to you and start telling you their fucking heroin tales and Xanax stories?
Yeah, because they
shit.
think it's gonna make me like them or something. Like,
Right, that's
dude,
your
most of the
relatability
people I
thing.
know that do heroin are kind of sketchy, bro.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But how'd you get into that? Let's talk about you as a kid. How'd you end up where you're at right now? Let's go back.
Well, okay. I started. Well, how far back do you want to go?
Where you from?
I was born in Piedmont Hospital in Atlanta.
What do you think you looked like when you were emerging from your mother's vagina as a child?
Probably pretty fucking beautiful, dude. I heard
slimy. And
no,
just
I heard it
up.
was a painless birth, and I came out.
That's what she said.
Smiling.
That's beautiful.
Jay-Z's mom said that too.
She's a fucking liar.
You ain't no slug mom.
No, I'm the second coming to Jesus. And I came out with angel wings, and I flew out the vagina.
Metaphorically or literally?
Literally.
Who knows? It's allegorical. People argue if it's allegorical or if it really happened. You know, it's all a bunch of bullshit.
You think you might be like divine though? You might have been like.
We all are divine beings. Yoda said it in Star Wars. You think we're piles of bone and flesh, but we're really luminous beings.
Really?
He really said that.
Star
Do you
Wars,
believe in the mitochondrion that makes up the force?
No, dude, that's a fictional.
Oh,
that's a fictional book, man. Or
I'm sorry, dude.
It's a movie or something.
But so is Star Wars to you just as valid as the Bible as a way to live your life? Is Star Wars important to you?
Yeah, pretty much.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, that shit's all based on a lot of the Star Wars shit. Like a lot of the lore and shit is based off like old religions.
Are you religious then?
I'm spiritual. I don't think.
What's that mean though? You,
You don't
in
think
spirits?
you die and it ends?
I don't know. I could give you my whole spiel. I mean, I think God is kind of like a metaphor for the collective unconscious, which we're all kind of imagining this plane of reality as we go. Every single one of us, even the plants, anything that has life in it, is basically all of our consciousness are agreeing on something called the collective unconsciousness, and that's what is creating this plane of reality right now. So everything is basically a figment of our collective imagination.
You say God is a metaphor for that, but that's what's interesting is that I think we'd all be okay.
Not
with
a metaphor, more like a simile, like a
shared experience.
like regardless of if people believe that that's what God is, like they might think God is something more than that. But I think that like on a deeper level, that's what we all understand them to mean when they talk about God is
God in saying
our shared experience is like consciousness, you know?
Yeah, I think it's even more deeper than that. I think you can look at it metaphysically if you want and think of it all as just a struggle, like you said, or you can. I mean, I think there's something real crazy going on, and I really do believe that not only me, but the fucking trees outside, all of us in this room, if you can fucking, you know, grow or something, I think you're a celestial being, or you're at least a piece of that, you know. I don't think, and I mean that in the most literal sense, like God, like I don't think God is separate from us, which is my problem with a lot of religions. They think they're separated from God. I think God, and as well as Satan too, those they exist within all of our hearts and are just fucking battling.
But you say Satan, is that completely disconnected from like the biblical idea of Satan? Are you saying just
yeah,
like
definitely.
the overall
I mean,
evil?
Well, okay, back to my childhood. I grew up in like a super religious house, and you know, from the time I was real young, I was like, yo, I don't know about all this shit, man. Like, it's just kind of sketchy, and apparently, like, this is supposed to like make me feel good, but I'm just real bored. Like, I'd rather play Pokemon or something, you know. Yeah. So, what were we talking about?
Your opinions on God.
Oh yeah,
Pokemon somehow.
Satan is
a Pokemon.
No. Pokemon is way cooler than
this
Satan.
dude makes like a 10-minute like very beautiful speech, and like Satan's a Pokemon, bro.
I gotta say it because I know it's like tweetable. It's like a good quote right there. Satan's a Pokemon.
Yeah. Satan and God are just all of us, like, kind of battling each other and shit.
So take me back to church when you were a kid. Like,
how
did you feel about it? Like,
I mean, like I said, I was just bored, you know. I didn't really get anything out of it, you know. I was a little kid, you know. It's hard. And just a lot of shit was shoved down my throat, and even as a kid, I was always skeptical of it. And I think that's why I started calling myself Christ, you know, because it was almost like the most punk rock thing, like, to my little...
What kind of church were you going to, though? Like hardcore Catholic?
Southern Baptist.
Oh, wow. So you're some hardcore shit. Okay.
Yeah.
That's like the most intense.
Wait, is that with like the talking in tongues and shit? All this
No.
Okay.
No, it was like some Southern, you know, like good old fashioned, like, you know, church shit. Like, they were like, them Lutherans, they do shit like that. Like, that shit's crazy. We're Baptists.
But so we're interviewing mostly like black dudes from Atlanta who are going to black churches. Were you going to like a mostly white church?
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I was raised about 45 minutes north of Atlanta.
Okay.
In this town called Woodstock, out in the middle of the woods at the foothill. You know Squidbillies from Adult Swim?
Yeah.
That takes place basically where I'm from. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. And I mean, I grew up like I lived in the neighborhood and shit, but I grew up running around in the woods behind my house, like. It's just woods everywhere out there, and I really liked my childhood, and I mean, I have an affinity for the woods. Whenever I trip on mushrooms or acid or whatever, like, it don't matter if it's like 4 a.m, like, I will run out in the middle of the woods, like in the middle of the dark, just because I feel like peaceful out there, you know.
Right.
And I went to rehab like a few years ago, and I was trying to be sober. I was sober for like a few months or something. Whenever I used to handle my problems, you know, just getting fucked up, but during that time, I would just only thing that would calm me down, like, would just be walking through the woods and shit, just 'cause, like, alone, you know, you just feel one with fucking nature and just the earth, and you ain't gotta deal with any bullshit out there with other people, their problems, you know. Trees don't really fucking care that much, you know.
Right.
What I'm saying? And I've always, like, I got a few tapes, Plant Mentality and Plant Mentality 1, and just always fucking respected plants.
What, those tapes are about plants or inspired by the outdoors, or what?
Not about plants, they're about, you know, my struggles and shit. A plant is cool, you know, I respect it, bro, because it's like a tree, you know, a seed falls, it might grow. If it does grow, it's gonna live there, and, like, it don't matter. It don't matter what's happening. If it rains, like, fuck yeah. If it's a drought for 5 years, you know, maybe I'll survive. But, like, whatever, dude. Nothing I can do about it. I'm gonna just chill here and live my fucking life because I'm a tree, and I'm gonna just grow. A plant, when it grows, it's not in a competition. That's what's so amazing about not all the plant world, but just, you know, metaphorically speaking, you know, there's no competition, man. That's like It's not. I'm not done yet. I'm just kidding.
He's speaking on behalf of all the people who get mad at me for interrupting. Yeah.
It's not. think about the other plants around them. They're just trying to grow.
Right. So you find like inspiration from the plants, because I've thought about that with like pets. Like you look at the level of like complacency they have and how they're just okay with everything.
Yeah, that's because humans domesticated them from things like over 10,000s of years. And
but plants are just
kind
naturally
turned
domesticated,
them into
right?
mutants.
Right, they are mutants, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what about those
cat.
movies where the plants turn on humans, like The Happening?
Those are movies.
Those are just movies.
But do you ever
Those are
psychopath.
evil plants.
Let me ask you a question. Do you
Yeah.
feel like humans are evil and plants
Yes.
are good? And will they ever turn on us?
But plants aren't
well,
capable of being evil.
I mean, I don't think all humans are bad, and I think all humans have, like a mix of good and evil in them, yin and yang. Like Satan and God all exist within our heart, like I was saying earlier. We all go through that shit. We all might be evil at one point. We all might be Jesus at one point.
But all plants are inherently
Not
good,
all
'cause they're
plants. No,
incapable of
because
committing evil.
we
right?
got Venus flytraps who be eating flies and shit. So fuck them.
Got poison
I'm just
ivy.
speaking on like a metaphorical level.
But do you consider a Venus flytrap to be evil because it eats flies?
I
Like,
don't
is your definition of
It
evil
could
like
be.
destroys other things?
It's all about perception.
Dude, humans are. If you're speaking, do I think a human is more evil than a Venus flytrap? God damn, yes.
Right,
A
okay.
human is the most evil thing that I've ever seen. That's the most evil thing that we've ever seen as a fucking in the entirety of the world.
Right.
From the time it fucking was made, however the fuck that happened.
Yeah, but a human has consciousness, right?
Right.
Well, I think that plants. There's been studies that plants have consciousness too. They had a cabbage, right? They had a cabbage here next to another cabbage. A dude goes inside this place, stabs the fuck out of this cabbage, leaves the other cabbage there to kind of witness it, right? Now, while this cabbage is basically witnessing the crime of its homie cabbage getting murdered, it's emitting a super high frequency, very light or whatever. You can only detect it, special equipment or whatever, right? So they leave. The guy leaves, right? They send another person, a different person in there, and just to enter the room, and plants just are giving off the same kind of level frequency. The one cabbage that's still alive. Now the guy who stabbed the fuck out of the cabbage, he has left the room, and he enters the room, and that cabbage that's alive that witnessed him murder the other cabbage starts emitting the same crazy high frequencies. Like, it almost recognized his energy and was like, yo, that dude killed my homie. Look out for him.
But let me rephrase it then. Like, humans have consciousness and the ability to act on shit. So
human beings are capable of
we can do amazing
betterment.
things, but also horrible things.
To
Right.
better things in a way that a
We could
plant
save
never
all the
could.
plants if we wanted to.
Or that any animal could. Like a gorilla could never rescue 1,000 other gorillas because he invented a fucking medicine.
Rest in peace,
know.
that gorilla that got shot.
Well,
by
rest
the
in peace,
way.
that gorilla and the
Yo,
2-year-old.
R.I.P. Harambe. Yo, if a
Harambe.
human fell into, or if a gorilla fell into a human pit, the gorilla still would have died.
That's true.
Let's have a pause on that and let's reflect on that for a minute.
What do you mean by that, though? Because how would
I'm just saying the gorilla would have died no matter what, dude.
if the
it
humans
was
had guns, one gorilla could kill 10 humans,
sure.
right?
Yeah. No, I mean, well, I said let's pause and reflect on.
Hey, if you were a 2 and you fell into a gorilla pit, Adam.
Yes. Would I want to be saved?
Yeah.
And I'm not sure that at 2 I'd be able to comprehend what like being saved was, but yeah, of course I would want to survive.
It's crazy.
Rest in peace to that kid, though, man. It's weird how like we almost feel
that
like
kid
the
lived.
kid's alive.
The
The
kid,
gator kid?
Yeah.
no, they found him in the fucking
No, the
swamp
gator
3
kid
hours
died.
The
later.
gator kid. The gator kid's dead.
Yeah, of course.
The gorilla kid's
gorilla
alive.
kid's alive.
It's
The
the
gorilla kid's
circle of
alive.
life.
I didn't know
R.I.P.
that.
Okay,
R.I.P. Gator Kid.
This is
but,
all I'm saying is that I think people feel bad for the gorilla more than they feel bad for the 2-year-old because somehow the gorilla were able to just copy and paste our own emotional code onto the gorilla and feel bad for the gorilla in a way that we don't necessarily extend to a 2-year-old. I think
Right. That's what's funny too.
You heard a lot more about the gorilla.
People care more about the endangered lions in Africa versus the thousands
Right.
of starving and thirsty
Yeah.
people,
Or that
indigenous people.
remember
out
that
there.
fucking doctor or whatever killed that one lion and it was this like international outrage.
The
But
white
meanwhile, there's like you go to Africa, there's fucking thousands of kids dying from hunger and thirst and all this shit, and people
And, like,
somehow
malaria
and that's what's weird about our culture that we live in, is that we're so obsessed with this outrage ideology of just being pissed off about things constantly. You see with the gorilla,
other people, that's another thing that separates humans from a lot of other species, is the amount of hate we feel towards our own race.
Right.
Like it's very strange, and that's another reason why humans are so evil, man. They just feel so much hate towards their own
I don't want to
people.
get too weird, but the Holocaust was not that long ago.
Right.
That was not.
It
That
wasn't.
Listen,
60,
during the
70 years
Holocaust, that was modern times for them. They were like, "Oh, we can't run our businesses here. All right, we'll just move down the street, or we'll just."
I mean, it's still like that in parts of the world, you know.
for sure. We're all lucky because we get to not see that.
Here,
you know?
exactly.
Here it's I mean, we're so whitewashed by everything. We don't see it happening in front of our faces. But women and people of color, they're all super fucked over in this nation and have been forever. It's just so ingrained within our society, and so kind of like they kind of put a bunch of smoke and mirrors around it to like hide it. I feel like
Yo,
But-
house phone.
Yeah.
What's up?
What's up, bro?
Do you feel that way?
I mean, I was gonna say, like, I definitely feel like there's some oppression and there's some like systematic bullshit that is going on that will affect generations to come. But like, that's why you need positive shit like artists and music and shit to relate back to, and to just like kind of give you an escape from that, and like kind of
shout out house phone. That was real.
like
This
make
one's
something
real.
relatable. Make something relatable to where you can touch another person with that shit, and you get your mind off of everything that is really going on.
True that.
Okay,
much-
but say this. Just, I'm not saying this at all, but say you saw some kid on Twitter or whatever say Slug Christ is only popping because he's white, white privilege, blah blah blah. How does that make you feel? What do you think about that?
I'm not. No. I'm popping because I'm making music that's never been made
We
before.
know that, but what if you
people
saw
say
that?
that to me. People
Yeah.
say shit like
Oh,
that
you
to me
see
all
that,
the time,
okay.
and I'm not saying white privilege isn't real, but
Of course not. Yeah.
and it's probably helped me in my music career. And I think with Alpha Records, I'm the only white kid. People ask me that all the time, and I've never even really think about it. They're like, "What's it like being the only white kid in Alpha Records?" I'm always like,
Doesn't
I know
feel
it's,
like
it's
that
kind
for
of
you on a
like being
day-to-day,
the only
right?
guy wearing shorts in a group of dudes who are
But
wearing
you're
pants.
you're from this area. You are around 10 black guys. You're not really thinking in your head like,
Yeah,
I'm the
no,
only
I
white
grew
guy.
up-
It's like,
I
who gives
mean,
a fuck, right?
Yeah, I went to
we're all
daycare
in
like
that,
inner city
you know.
in Atlanta and shit, and I think that might be the reason. I think I'm just like, I just think I don't give a fuck. And
And
that's
you're a
just the way
young
I
kid.
came
It's like,
out.
well, you don't think about explicit racism on a day-to-day
Yeah.
basis.
I mean, I
That's
do,
what's
I
weird
do,
about
I
it, you know?
see it though. I see it,
Right.
because I hang out with all my friends. I see it around them, and I see it happening in front of my eyes, and it's sad, man.
Right.
And
you're from the South, so it's probably more like prominent.
well, I mean, I like. Not in Atlanta, because it's mainly black people. in
Right,
Atlanta,
yeah.
But like you go north of Atlanta or south towards the Panhandle in Florida is super. Florida is actually real racist.
Yeah.
Keith Charles is from there, and he's told me real fucked up shit.
Spacebar.
Florida's the
yeah.
first time I really heard people like explicitly saying super racist
And
shit.
didn't
you know?
I? That's where the gay shooting happened too,
Yep.
not too
Yep.
long ago. Yeah, Florida's real fucked up. But north of Georgia, also, I mean, not north of Georgia, but like even more so north of where I'm from too. There's a lot of racism. But I mean, there's racism
Everywhere.
in the country, in the world.
Yeah, exactly.
It just feels like it's taught because you grow up with whatever you grew up with, and that's normal for you. And then like someone
Right.
comes through and says, no, you shouldn't be chilling with that guy. And you're like, wait, what? And they try to like fucking teach that to you and pass that shit
Yeah,
down.
for sure, man.
Exactly.
Yeah, see, like, and going back, like, I think what I was saying is being the only guy in being the only white guy in Awful Records. I think I'm almost like I'm easier, I'm more accessible for white kids to get
Right.
into, which makes me so sad, man. Just thinking about shit like that, I'm like. It sucks because your image is so a part of the music these days, and like I consider myself a musician, not a fucking like imagist,
Right.
And I have a song called Dope Fiend, and there's a line in it, I'm nothing but a dope fiend, come see the spectacle. And that's what I think of myself sometimes, man. Like, are these people really listening to my music, or they just want to see what I'm gonna do next? Like,
Do you feel like that? Like people are buying
Yeah,
into this like
definitely.
outrageous
Definitely,
character that you sort of created?
I didn't create anything, man. It's who I am. It's
Right.
it's what they've created, what they've perceived, and I'm not saying it's not true, because a lot of it is true, and a lot of it's based on fact, on shit that I've done that are, you know.
But see, that's when it's always like a gray area, because even before I met you, I knew like a little bit about you, and then like once we like actually kicked it, and I was, I was like,
Oh
right.
yeah, no, and I've been through that too, man. Like really before I started popping, I I would think about rappers, and I'd like look at them and I'd be like, oh, he looks like such a fucking asshole. Then when I met them and I'd start popping and shit, that's when I just realized, like, yo, all these dudes are just normal ass guys.
Fucking people.
You might hate their music or not give a fuck about their music at all, but they're probably all right guys. Like Tyga's probably a pretty cool guy.
Yeah.
I
or you could take
I love Rex City.
Or look, you can take it to another level where you might idolize this person. You
Hey,
might
exactly,
be like, oh my
yeah.
god, this person is so amazing.
And then you
and so
realize
awesome.
that he's just a normal dude.
Yo, kids out there, never meet your idols. You will only be disappointed.
No,
like
not
if you love like Kanye, don't ever say hi to him.
Unless your idol is me, Roseman
you're
Houseman, or Slug Christ.
No,
and
but
you're
you know
hot,
what?
and a girl.
But you know what? I'm not even taking it to that level. I'm just
Go
saying
ahead.
that, like, not even that they're going to disappoint you, but just at the level you got to look at it is like, this person is your equal. No matter what financial bracket they're on.
No, yeah, true
matter,
that.
Like, whatever it is, like, this is a normal person.
You're talking about a real LA thing where if I walked
Oh,
up
yeah.
to you and I was like, oh, yo, Brad Pitt, I love all your movies.
Yeah.
You'd be like, oh, cool, whatever.
Yeah.
And if some girl was like, hey, Brad, this is Roseman. He does blah, blah, blah. I'm like, what's up, man? Nice to meet you. He'd be like, oh, it's just a guy.
Okay.
Because you don't start fanning out on somebody right away. It's a very LA
Some people
stupid
do.
thing.
So you think Brad Pitt would be totally down with the Roseman movement?
What I would be like, check it out. I'd be like, Brad, what's up? He's like, hi, nice to meet you. I'm like, what do you do?
Yeah. That's always the first question everyone asks you.
Yeah.
Like, what do you do? What do
Oh,
you
I
do?
shoot some movies. Oh, anything I've seen?
But okay, is it hard for you to be the dude that like has a line of kids trying to take photos with you after the show?
I mean, yeah, that's why I really got into drugs and shit, was because of anxiety and, depression issues and shit like that. And, when it's a line of fucking kids, here's another fucking line from a song. Like, you see a fucking crowd around me, I'm feeling kind of nervous, so I'm gonna pop these chemicals. Like, they want to see a miracle, so I'm gonna pop these chemicals. Like, these people expecting something out of me. I'm feeling kind of nervous because I don't want to not let all these people down.
Can I say? I mean, this is stupid to say, but like, they just want to know that you're real, like, because they look at you already like you're super tight.
Yeah.
And when they meet you, they're like, he was cool. He was.
Yeah,
nice."
But you
man.
feel that pressure though.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. I had a drug problem before I ever had to deal with any fame issues, and it's only gotten worse. But I don't know. Yeah, people create an image in their head of you, and
You can't control
it's
that.
not. Yeah, and it's not It's not always true.
Where are you
Not
at in terms of your
Yeah,
drug
wait,
use? How'd you get into that?
Yeah, how does a drug
Okay,
problem
yeah.
happen?
I mean, okay. I was like,
It's a big part
I
of
was
your whole
17.
image,
I mean, I started smoking weed, I was kind of older actually. I was like around 17, and it was cool. And but I got into pills because my dad has a really bad arthritis, so I was into drugs and shit. So I was like, oh, I wonder what these do, and I just kind of started it from there, and it just snowballed, dude. And now, from a very early time when I started enjoying opiates, painkillers and shit like that, which is nothing more than government distributed heroin.
Exactly.
And so is lean. That's just,
Liquid heroin.
cups of heroin. Basically,
But so
they're
you
all
got- you-
opiates. So I got into drugs that way, and if you're into painkillers, if you enjoy that, you're only gonna move on to the harder shit.
But so are you saying that you got into it like completely removed from any idea that this might be like a cool thing to do because of music or whatever?
Man,
Yeah.
no, yeah, and that's what I hate about music these days. Like the musicians I was listening to when I was impressionable were like a lot of metal bands and shit, guys that were singing about emotions or maybe shit that wasn't even real,
Or like
and
political
drug
issues.
use was not a part of that scene. Like,
Yeah, that
and
wasn't
it
what people
wasn't.
rapped about until the past few years, really.
Well, yeah, these guys weren't rapping. They were like
Oh,
screaming.
right,
they were
yeah.
like rah rah.
Yeah,
But yeah,
It's
but
pretty good, actually.
Yeah, that was.
that did sound good. Yeah.
well, I was a metal vocalist.
But
I
for what-
played in
what was
a
the
bunch
band?
of metal.
Any bands that
I played
we
in
know
a
of?
bunch of metal
Anal
bands.
Cunt?
I played in a.
You're an anal cunt?
I was in this band called Annihilate Here, which was a math grind band.
Really?
Shit.
So you grew up on that kind of shit?
Yeah, my favorite bands are like Psyopus, The Locust.
Oh, wow, okay.
My favorite band is Terra Malis, which is actually a math rock band.
Right. But so
All
you
right,
grew up on all
okay,
this
wait.
noise and scream and shit.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But were
that's,
you into rap simultaneously?
It's kind of funny. Like, my dad was into like Aerosmith or shit and shit. So like they had that song with Run DMC or whatever.
Right, yeah, yeah.
And that was like my introduction to rap. And I remember it was like the only rap song when I was like 5 and shit that I like ever knew. So I was just like, walk this way.
That's how you practice your sick
Yeah,
votes.
and I got into like old school rap when I was like younger and shit. When I was like when I was around like 5 and shit like that. And I was also into what my sister played, which was like Green Day and Weezer and stuff.
Hell yeah.
And so I was into that, but when I kind of moved. Like I didn't really like the rap that was going on around that time, the early 2000s. It was kind of a weird. I just didn't like rap
Lil
back
Jon.
then. And thinking back to then, I don't really like that era of rap too much. There's some cool stuff that happened.
I kind of appreciate it more ironically than anything.
Oh yeah,
it's very
ironically,
corny
yeah.
era.
Yeah,
Like,
it's more
Lil
like
Jon,
that.
yeah,
I
ushered
got
in a wild
into
corny era.
90s hip hop, and I was really into like NWA and that whole West Coast thing, and old Snoop and shit. And then I really didn't start enjoying hip hop when I was older in my late teens until I was until like Wayne came out.
Okay.
And I was a huge Lil Wayne fan, and I still am. God rest his soul, because his creative
It's
career
different
is
now.
kind
Oh,
of
yeah, I
dead.
was gonna say, he just had a seizure. But he's not dead.
No. I'm saying rest his creative
But
soul.
so were you like inspired by the stylistic output, the way
Yeah,
you did
man.
things?
Even as a metal vocalist, like
Right.
I was inspired by kind of the craziness of Wayne, and also like a metal vocalist like from the Blood Brothers that inspires me vocally in my raps and
hell
shit.
yeah.
And just being a metal vocalist, like I have songs where I'm screaming basically, and like turning up, like, but songs where I'm screaming and it just haltering back to my days in a metal band.
Right.
You know about those like Punk Goes Crunk compilations?
Oh my god, that was a fucking travesty. None of those bands were punk, and they were all lame. And
But there was a cover of Still Fly,
Okay.
like Birdman.
no, that song
One of the
was
better songs from that
horrible.
era. That
song
was a great
horrible.
song.
No,
What are you talking about?
the cover of it on that thing. No, yeah.
415s didn't see no wires.
But it's so funny that whole era happened, and that like 3-6 and like Cash Money and shit didn't really get to like inherit that much clout out
and
of
then
it.
I heard the boom from the amplifiers.
Well, 3-6. Well, 3-6. I respect their career, and I would like to have a career like that.
Academy Award winning.
Kind of in like Gucci Mane too, like a real slow come up like that, and you just gain a bunch of real fans.
So that's how you view your career more so, yeah?
Slugger,
Yeah.
Honestly, I feel like you could score a movie, right? Like you
No,
could,
that's my dream job. I was talking to my girlfriend Naja earlier about how my dream job is like from when I was younger. I've always made music.
Yeah.
I got my first guitar when I was 12 and shit. So I've been making music for a really long time. And my dream job was to score like video games, like 8-bit video games. And I made a lot of music that's on the internet you can listen to of like kind of 8-bit inspired video game shit like that. And also scoring horror movies.
Did you ever see the movie It Follows?
Yeah.
That fucking disaster piece soundtrack?
I would love to score a
That-
movie like that, man. Like
Oh
I
my God.
actually made a horror movie with some friends that was 20 minutes long, and I made all the sound effects. I basically scored it like on fucking Fruity Loops at the time. That's what
Yeah.
I was producing on, and I made like a bunch of noises and shit, and it was
Yeah.
so fun, man. Like I would love to score
I
horror
see that
movies.
shit in his future, man. I really
No,
see that
yeah,
shit.
I'm trying to one day, like when can't rap no more and I'm old as fuck.
Trent
know?
Reznor too. Like he did the same shit.
Oh, he did.
Oh, he did the Social Network.
Yeah, what's that?
Oh,
He did a
word,
bu-
okay.
Reznor's done a bunch
I
of
like,
shit.
yeah, that's cool, man. Yeah, I would love to get into that, man. I've always been into composition, really. Like, I mean, it's probably hard to tell in my beats that I produce, or maybe it isn't. I don't know. But like my older music I was making is very like inspired by like if you listen to those 8-bit like JRPG soundtracks from the 80s or 90s and shit, when it's 2D and shit, they're so complex. It's like a composition, you know, like a fucking orchestral something, some Beethoven shit, but it's really a guy programming
Yeah.
it
All
on
those
a
melodies
little
are
chip.
still- you can't
yeah,
change
it's
those melodies,
beautiful,
yeah.
man, and it's so emotional, and that's I've been listening to a lot of 8-bit JRPG soundtracks as
So,
of late. But
You see yourself having a long life.
I mean, as long as it lasts, man. I'm just gonna try to have fun while I'm here. You know?
Are you gonna try to get sober?
Okay, that period when I was sober, I was so depressed, dude, and I recently quit opiates on my own, got a hotel room, and just like, you know, withdrew for a few days or whatever. I had been weaning off of it, so I got my shit down, so my withdrawals weren't that bad. But when the first day I didn't have any withdrawals or anything, I was like, this fucking sucks, bruh. I literally hate this shit. And from when I was younger, man, and I first started getting into it, I knew it was going to be a lifelong thing I was going to have to struggle with. And I got off them by myself, man. That night, I was just like, fuck this. I don't even want to do this. I don't want to be like this. I was smoking mad weed. I was smoking too much weed. I had smoked an eighth that day already. The night wasn't over yet, bro. I was going to probably smoke more weed, you know. I wanted to get fucked up because I've been going through shit lately, real crazy, you know, stressful, life-changing bullshit, and I've been going through shit my whole life, man. And if I want to kill myself on drugs slowly, I might do it, you know. No one's there to tell me not to, and I'm not gonna listen to no one about that shit, you know. This is my fucking life.
You said it's a lifelong thing. Do you feel that, like, physically that you like need to do it, or like mentally you feel like you?
Well, I physically need to do it when I'm withdrawing off it and I'm sick as fuck, you know, in the bathtub shivering and like puking and shit. Yeah, then I need to physically do it.
Well, like from a person outside looking in that has like never been that deep, because like obviously I dabble.
No, it's been that deep. More times than I can count. Yeah. And I've gotten off of it more times than I can count. And
but you know what though, like you're really aware, and that's what I respect about you.
I said this in another interview I did for these people in Atlanta. People talk about the drug use in rap now and how it's so glorified. And you know, if you're not sipping lean, you know you're a loser. Yeah. People accuse me of glorifying this shit, man, and I don't know how.
I don't see that shit at all.
I feel like I want to represent like the fact that it's real, man. And some Xans, dude, are horrible. Like, though I've had seizures from Xan withdrawals, and I've had seizures from opiate withdrawals. I think it's just because it's in a pill form. Also, I think that's why people don't think Roxys are just basically heroin. Yeah. I think, you know, it's all just conditioning, social conditioning. Like, oh, it's a pill, you know, it can't be that
like
bad.
All these like Real Housewives of OC moms, like, oh, let me take some Xanax.
Yeah, they make it like a joke on TV.
Right,
it's
bro.
weird, right?
Like,
well, you watch Slug's videos, and there's no glorification. It's not like he's in the club.
I wanna represent both sides of it, and like I was saying earlier about you know, the struggle between good and evil within our hearts and shit. I want to represent both sides. Like, I want to be a balanced individual. You know, represent yin and yang, the sun and the moon fully, like both in masculinity and femininity. I want to represent it both.
While you're still on the shit.
Yeah. I feel like that's what's beautiful about his art.
I mean,
he's telling both
but
sides
you know
of the story.
that like physically is gonna take its toll on you.
Well, it already has, man. I have liver pains, bro.
Right.
And I'll quote another fucking song. I am about what I talk about. Let me say that. Like, I am so sick of people rapping about what they're not about. I got liver pains, but that pain don't compare to the pain of my souls.
Right. But is that what you feel when you are sober for a couple days?
I feel it so much, man, through and through. Yeah, like I would not lie to you about that.
But don't you think that that's just part of the withdrawals? Is feeling depressed and feeling listless?
Oh
and, like,
yeah, definitely, man. But there have been times.
Fight past that?
No, there have been times when I haven't been physically addicted to that shit at all. And I'll fiend for weed, man. You know, like.
But you're just fiending for anything that'll take you away from yourself, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Not maybe not myself. Maybe myself. If that's the case for that moment, just take me away. You know.
Just give you some kind of escape. But what do you feel like you're escaping from?
You know, like I feel like this plane of reality, man, is somewhat of a prison. I'm not talking about reptilians and shit like that, but I just feel like, you know, we were all meant for so much more than counting currency, digital, looking at a number on the screen and debating whether your life is good based on these digits on a computer screen, your bank account numbers and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But
you went and became a rapper, which is the type of career that's really like fundamentally sort of based around that sort of.
Yeah, I don't like talking about money though. If I do talk about money, I mean, I just money helps you live, but you don't know how fucking bullshit it is until you get some, you know, and you're holding a stack in your hand and you're like, this is absolutely worthless.
Yeah, like I'm still not happy.
Can
I
You don't have any money.
I can,
broke.
Yeah.
I can, and the one thing that I can buy with money that might relieve my stress a little bit is some fucking, you know, some drugs or some Xans or pills or whatever.
But is there a way that you could do those moderately and not?
And there's been
Is that
times.
where you're at now, or
No. I'm with the shits right now, but I've been doing fentanyl for probably the past like 7 months every day.
Is that what Michael Jackson died off of?
That's what
Prince.
Prince died off of.
So what's the scoop on that? Because we were just talking about how a lot of
I got some in my backpack if you want to see.
I've never tried it before. You want to let me try it?
No.
Oh, wait. Okay.
We probably don't have enough time for it to kick in, but I do support you getting addicted to drugs on the
This is
podcast.
for like serious opiate users or cancer patients.
Can I talk about a story that relates back to one of your songs?
Yeah, for sure.
So I listened to the Hair On song, and you was like, I don't let my friends try no motherfucking
Get hair on, I do it by myself in the motherfucking bathroom.
Okay, so so I had knew your music a little bit before prior to meeting you.
Yeah.
And then after I heard that song and after the night that, you know, the events that happened that night, I like heard the song and I heard that line and I really respected you because I remember I was on a lot of Xanax that night and I was fucked up and I think I was like, yo, like, let me try that. He was like, nah, man, you don't want to try this. And I didn't even know what you were doing or what it was or anything. And
So you two partied together. Interesting.
Yeah, at Sarah Hildebrand's house, a.k.a.
this
Andy.
nigga's Nick.
Never heard of her. Never heard of her.
Dimas.
Never heard
Andy
of her.
San Dimas. I knew who she was. She was a Slug Christ fan and hit me up, and I knew who she was before she ever knew who I was because I'm pretty sure I jacked off to her when I was 15.
Yo, same.
But you didn't smash?
No, dude. She's
Why
my
not?
friend.
She's a
She's my
homegirl.
friend, yeah.
Yeah, she's a really
Adam
good.
licked your butthole.
Let me
Adam,
get
shut
down.
the fuck up, you sexist,
Yeah,
misogynist.
misogynistic,
Yeah.
problematic
I'm sorry.
piece
No, I
of
love
shit.
Andy. I know
Adam,
Andy. I know
Adam.
Andy. I
I'm
love
just
Andy.
Adam, if you didn't have sex with her and you just had a platonic friendship with her, you would realize that she was a
Let's
good
not
person.
talk about having sex with my friends. On
Yeah, let's be
Yeah.
chill. Let's be
But look,
chill.
anyway,
I don't
Slug,
fuck.
Sorry,
I
sorry,
don't
sorry.
fuck.
Hey,
the
reset.
point-
Go ahead.
the point I was saying is
I got
that
crooked dick.
like I heard like
JK.
I met you, that happened, and you told me like, nah, man, you don't want to try this. Even though I wasn't in my right state of mind,
Right.
You being the good person that you are, you steered me away from even the possibility of even like, you know, going down that road. And then I heard the song after, and I really was like, damn, I respect this guy. You know,
Hell yeah,
he's
man.
a really good dude.
Yeah.
Because like, who knows? That could have sent me down a fucking spiral.
I don't
downward
want
spiral.
H-Mob house phone. It sounds horrible.
But whatever
Yeah.
though, you know, like. But this man,
H-Mob house phone.
Is there? Hey, house phone. Is there like addiction in your family? Do you have like?
No, my dad was like a drunk, and he smoked a lot of like cigarettes.
So
and
yeah.
shit. I guess.
Are
yeah.
you? Do you have to smoke every day?
I don't smoke cigarettes every day.
No,
I
I
smoke
just got on weed the other
Oh no,
day.
bro! I just like got addicted to weed. Shout out to my vegan.
He's like
He
trying to stop doing coke by
I just
doing
got
mad weed.
addicted to weed.
No, did I? No, wait.
He's
wait.
serious though. He's
No.
serious.
No,
I've been
hold on.
addicted to weed since I was 17. I feel you though.
Hold
It's
on,
addictive
hold on, hold
as
on,
fuck.
hold
bruh.
on, hold on. Everyone,
I
hold on.
fiend for weed more than like any other drug. I'll be withdrawing off heroin and be like, God, I want to smoke a fucking blunt.
Somebody
right
screenshot Slug with his head on the microphone. That was a good shot. That's all I need.
Wait,
no
you want to
jumper.
recreate that classic moment?
But look, don't get it twisted, nigga. I used to smoke weed when I first time I smoked a blunt was in 10th grade, and I smoked weed
Shout out,
every day. I
10th
smoked
grade.
weed every day. I just stopped smoking weed and I started doing like coke and other shit. And I was like, I don't need to like smoke weed. Like I'm doing other shit.
Yo, that's the thing. When you're deep into drugs, like when I was doing like heroin every day, like I had a bad problem a few months ago, like $100 every day. I wasn't even worried about weed. I got weed tatted on my fucking arm, dude. I wasn't even worried about weed, and I didn't even really want to smoke it because I was like, man, I might as well like spend my money on because I need this shit or I'll be
Wait,
sick.
so a couple
you know?
months ago you were straight up into heroin a bunch. Was that the first time that you got super deep into it, or was that?
That was
that's
the
happened a few
deepest
times?
I've been into heroin like
Right.
that.
But how do you pull out of something like that, and how do you get into it in the first place?
How do you pull out?
Yeah, like how
We don't never pull out.
Ugh.
I always
hate
pull
you.
out.
Rope gang.
He pulls out after he's
No,
done.
it takes a bunch of fucking fucking willpower, man. Like especially if you want to do it by yourself without doing like a Vivitrol shot, which is you know what that is. It's they shoot you get shot up with it and you just can't get high off opiates.
Okay.
Oh,
And I didn't
shit.
want to do that because I knew I'd be withdrawing, and I have self control. You know, as much I really do have a lot of self control. It's just like I don't give a fuck and I want to get fucked up, like, you know. But yeah, I did it without a Vivitrol shot. It's like basically you can't get fucked up on opiates. Even if you snort a big line of heroin, you won't get fucked up. And I just didn't want to do it because I knew I'd be withdrawing, and I wanted to, you know, wean off of it. If I was withdrawing a little bit, I'd take a little bit, you know. And that's how I got off of it for
How long?
a day. I had no withdrawals or anything for a day, and I hated it. And I've been on fentanyl ever since.
And fentanyl you take by, like, it's a pill form?
Fentanyl is a patch. It's a plastic patch. How I get it, you can get it in pill form, I'm pretty sure. You can get it in powder form, whatever. But I get it through a patch, and you're supposed to put it on your skin transdermal. That's called transdermal, and it has a 100% absorption rate through your skin. It's a patch you put on your skin.
When do you take it?
Now, what I do is I cut a piece off. It's supposed to stay on your arm for 3 days, and it's like pain relief for 3 days.
Yeah.
And it gives it to you in a slow, constant thing. What I do is I cut a piece of it off and chew it up in my mouth, and I absorb it buccally through my spit glands and my cheeks. And when I do it, I have a big, you can't swallow or the fentanyl is destroyed. You can't, it's got better its bioavailability is better absorbed buccally than ingested.
Did you Google this method?
Yeah, I know all about.
But is this standard for everybody that does it?
I don't know if you're into pills, and I mean, there's 100 billion different types of opiates. You know, the medical term for heroin is diamorphine, which is just the analog of morphine.
Yeah.
It's just a little bit stronger than morphine. It's called diamorphine. They actually, that's the what they use in Europe. That's the main painkiller. Like here, it's morphine. They use diamorphine there. They don't say it's heroin. They say it's diamorphine,
Right.
which is literally government distributed heroin.
What do you say? There's a 14-year-old kid out there watching this who's thinking about, he's got some kid offering him Xans at school tomorrow. What's your advice to him?
If you want to do it, don't do it at 14. God, no. Try to fucking get through high school first, you dumbass. That's what I tell him. I graduated high school. Bruh. I hated school since I was in second grade, bruh. Like, I gave up in second grade. And if I can fucking graduate on time from high school, any motherfucker can do it, bruh. And it's not that I'm retarded. It's that I fucking hated the shit. And I wanted to die every day, and I came in the school high every day, and it was horrible, and I was so excited to get out of high school, and then I figured out life is just high school on a bigger level.
Let me ask you this. Like, you are creative. You have, like, different views on the world and, like, how to put it out there in art form. Opiates, helping or hurting that cause?
Opiates, a lot of the jazz drummers of the 40s were in the heroin because it allowed you to play what you wanted to play. You didn't care about what people were saying or the trends, you know, in jazz percussion at the time. You were just like doing whatever you wanted, and it allowed for a lot of these great artists have been they've made artistic breakthroughs doing shit that no one's ever done before because of these drugs, and allowing those drugs to open your mind. And like creativity, heroin is, or not just heroin, opiates, you know, they're proven. Same thing with weed, you know, you smoke a blunt, whenever I smoke a blunt, I want to instantly play guitar, you know, or something like that, you know, I just want to, you know, fuck around, make music.
But it's like, would you say that weed is a gateway drug in the sense that like kids who get used to that idea of like, I got to change my mentality,
TV is a
reality.
Gateway drug.
Right.
Rap music is a gateway drug.
But so,
whatever drug you take first is a gateway drug.
But is weed to you 5% of what heroin is to you? Is it just like a little minor version?
No, I love weed. Is my favorite drug. I like it more than opiates because you can't withdraw off of it. You can smoke as much of you as you want. You know, you might have some lung problems or something, but for the most part, you know, it's pretty straight. And weed is my favorite drug. You know, like I said, I got it tatted on my arm. Like, I love weed.
But you wouldn't be able to just get by on that. You don't think?
I have. I don't know if it's a goal because I don't really want to get off opiates because I love them.
They always say about addicts though, like rock bottom, like they got to hit rock bottom.
Yeah, I don't know.
What's your rock bottom?
See, I don't know because I don't know if I've hit rock bottom because every time I've been super addicted, I've had money in my bank and I've had a place to stay, you know.
But do you feel kind of coddled because now you're like someone successful as a rapper and shit?
I mean, I don't think. I mean, I'm not like I'm not rich by any means.
But you're
man.
able to make a living. You don't
I'm
have to
able
go to the
pay.
grocery
I'm able
store
to
8
pay
hours
my
a day,
rent.
right?
You know,
Yeah.
I have to watch what I do and shit. I'm able to pay my rent. But I think people think, you know, 10,000 followers on Twitter means $10,000 in the bank.
Right,
Like, people are retarded like that, and you know, it's not like that at all, man. Like, you'd be surprised what the amount of money a underground-based rapping shaman makes. You know, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I had the other day I played in North Carolina on the 10th. I had a contract for $700 to play this show, and I didn't get paid a cent.
Because she tried to drug test you.
Something like that.
What is this about? Let's hear this.
Okay, bro.
This is hilarious.
What the fuck?
This little fuckboy promoter, y'all know Nadab, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's a
He
fuckboy
did
too.
This, no, I love that kid.
Okay.
Shout out,
He's a
shout out,
fuckboy,
Ned.
though.
Shout out, Ned.
baby
What the
gang.
Ned's one of my favorite
Ned.
fuckboys. Skidda.
Scudda.
Skada.
This same promoter left Ned out, stranded in the middle of the mountains, bro.
I would do that too. Fuck you, Ned.
I'm tired of you, Adam. I'm over your
gotta go pee.
negativity, bro.
Fuck you, Ned. And fuck you, Slug Christ.
All
All
right.
right. So yeah.
Yeah, so he
This
left.
horrible
So
promoter.
I go out there, play a dope ass show, you know. It's at the end of the show. None of the artists get played. Black Cray played that night. He was there with 100 Mil. Shout out Goth Money. He didn't get played either.
Shoot 'em up.
They were finna shoot him up, I think.
Man.
And they left. They left though. Me, Craig Zen, and a few other of the artists that were there stayed trying to, you know, figure something out. She tells Craig Zen, you know what, I'm gonna help you. The promoter's mom comes through because the promoter is a little bitch kid who can't. I don't know how he didn't end up at the end of the show with no money because that show was turned, and we like, you know, and I don't know why he wrote contracts up for all of us because now we can all sue him, but he ended up with no money somehow after the show. So his mom comes, and his mom his mom tells Craig Zen, I'm gonna help you out. These other artists, I'm gonna help you all out. She looks at me, I don't want to help you because, you know, you were really fucked up on stage and throwing up. And I was like, well, bitch, that doesn't void my contract.
Did you always throw up on stage?
I do a lot.
You
yeah.
did it at Ham too.
Yeah,
a couple
I did.
times. I
Yeah,
heard.
the last two shows which I played back to back, like 10th I played North Carolina, and then on the 11th.
What explains that?
Well, I mean, I used to throw up when I played like metal shows too. Just a lot of it is just because I don't know if you like. I move around a lot, and like I shout and scream and shit, you know.
Yeah.
And that has to do with it, but I mean, I'm always on some, you know. Like, so
And like your first song you came out to, or the first or second song was like "I'm the Ocean," and we were fucking all so.
well, Ned was DJing for me that night, and he didn't give me a goddamn break between the first Turntast song and the second Turntast song.
He went straight from
Yeah,
one
and I was like, whoa, but like I couldn't tell him not to because there was a goddamn crowd in front of the DJ booth.
See,
like,
that's why we got to leave Ned out on a mountain somewhere.
No, because
Oh
bro,
my
we
God.
were all turned on stage with you. You probably didn't have any room to walk around.
yeah, and I mean it's hot as fuck in them places,
It is,
and
it
like,
is.
but like when I was in my metal bands and shit, you know, I was still fucked up and shit. But I mean, some shows I wasn't, and I might throw up just from moving around and like,
Can I ask you this question that someone asked me?
what?
They asked me that night. They was like, "Well, do you think do you think he seriously was fucked? Because he was like, I'm on 15 different drugs. Like, I'm sorry.
Dude, I said 15 different drugs. It was more like 4.
No, but look, all right. The question I got asked was like, do you think that he just, because like I know you went straight from the plane straight to the show. They were saying, do you think he was throwing out just because he hadn't had his fix for the day, or because he was really
No, I
fucked
was really fucked up, but I mean, I was tired as fuck, man. I
Yeah.
played a show the night before. I was in the studio after that show. I slept for 3 hours, you know, got on the plane. Like,
Did you
maybe
did you
slept,
sleep on the plane?
you know, maybe for like an hour or something. I was in the goddamn middle of the fucking row, and like, you know, shit sucks. So then I get fucking to LA at 9:45. Naja, my girl, comes and picks me up in an Uber, and we go straight to the fucking venue.
Straight to the venue from
So,
from
like,
LA.
I was, like, you know, tired, like, you know, probably malnourished, and,
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
then I get there, and, like, people are shoving drugs in my face, like, I can't.
Is it always like that?
Yeah, because, you know, they think it's gonna make me think they're
Yeah.
cool and
Yeah.
shit, you know, and then sometimes it does, and I do enjoy it. Like, shout out to everyone that gives me. I woke up at
For the
the
30
day.
seconds that you do the handoff, you're cool.
Yeah, the day after Ham, I woke up. I don't remember how I got it, but I found an eighth of mushrooms and 4 hits of acid in my backpack. I was like, cool.
You fucking kids. Assholes. Well, not
What
necessarily.
do
I
you
guess you want
do? You get to that point where you feel like your reputation almost exceeds you to where
Yeah, I'm
to
like
where,
pretty notorious in
Yeah.
these streets. Yeah, the people already, the security squad already knew about me when we got to the venue. Me and Naja went to the venue.
Or like searching you on the way in. And
No,
shit?
they didn't search me because they probably knew I had it
Yeah.
on me. But like they were like the guy who gave us our passes or whatever was like, hey, I remember you. You're fucking crazy, and like told Naja like, yo, watch out for this kid. He's like really insane. And yeah, the security squad. And when I threw up at him on stage, they were trying to kick me out of the show because like the security team was. Cause,
Yeah, that
you know,
venue's whack. They always got some
and
bum ass dude trying
the
to.
main security guard was like, you need to go to the back and just chill out until you're okay. And I was like, well,
Right.
okay, yeah, sure. And so I went back there, grabbed my merch, and just went back outside and started selling my merch. And he comes up and sits next to me, and he's like, "What'd I tell you?" Like I'm his little like daughter or something.
Does
dude. It was-
Naja keep up with you? Everything you do?
yeah, she's my babysitter.
But I'm
No.
talking about like, does she do what you do? Like in terms of.
Oh no, she's a fucking. She don't even smoke weed.
She's straight edge.
She's drinking a beer right now, which I never see her drink.
You're welcome.
She'll hit the blunt like once or something, you know.
She was definitely taking care of you. Like I think I passed her water to give to you at Ham, and she's rubbing your back.
Oh yeah, no.
She had you. She had
Yeah,
your back.
she's awesome.
How'd you guys meet?
My on New Year's.
New Year's kiss?
She loves this
Nope, you
shit.
gotta-
She
she's
loves
going
this
like
shit
this.
right
She's
now.
like, no.
On New Year's, I played here, and she saw me dancing.
At
and
Union,
she,
right?
I don't know. Yeah,
The
yeah,
same spot, yeah.
but downstairs.
Yeah,
And
okay.
she saw me dancing, and she thought it was hot, and she came up and talked to me, and I thought she was hot, and it was a wrap after that.
And you guys been
Scott,
hanging out
huh?
ever since?
Huh?
You guys been hanging out ever since?
Yeah, when I come to LA,
All right. If
I
you-
flew her out to Atlanta once.
is
Got
Naja
broad-
like wait?
Slug's got broads in Atlanta.
I got a question. He's
No, I got broads in LA, and I fly them out to Atlanta.
Right.
A
that's what I meant.
Scudda.
And then they're in Atlanta.
A
Yeah.
Scudda.
he's got
Stop.
he's got broad in Atlanta.
Fuck designer.
Hey, bro, wait.
Fuck designer. What?
Fuck this.
I'm not co-signing that. I fucks with design.
Dude,
He's a
you
young
are
kid
so
out of
lame,
Brooklyn. I
bro.
fuck with
Shut
him.
up.
He's from New
Wait.
Hampshire.
Shut up.
I'm sold.
Shut
Tax
the
don't convince
fuck
me that
up.
design is
Slug,
legit.
Shut the
Slug,
fuck
question.
Team
up.
designer.
It's too early to talk about designer.
No, it's not,
Wait
bruh.
till you hear the
no,
album.
it's fucking
The
not.
album's fire.
Y'all are blowing my mind right now.
Yeah, I
I am
haven't heard
pissed
it.
the fuck off.
I'm ready for the new shit.
Slug, let me ask you a question. Have you ever hated an artist when he came out and ended up liking him later?
Designer.
I think we all have. But
Designer.
All right,
for
but
me.
what? I'm just saying.
Actually, my favorite bands and some of my favorite rappers have been like that. But
I'm
and
just
I
saying.
think I'm an artist like that actually too. I think I put a lot of people off, and then they start listening to me. They're intrigued by me some way, which is how I came across my favorite bands. And like my favorite band is Terra Melos, and I did not understand it. You know, you can't even count the time signatures they use. Like
Jesus.
it's crazy, tempo changing. No 4/4, no any. You can't even count the time signatures. Like it's crazy and it's beautiful. But I didn't understand it at the time. I was like 15 or 14 or something. You know, I was a little. I didn't know that much about music theory either. I was just getting into it, and but I was intrigued by it, and I kept on listening to it. And I ended up loving it, man. And when Flocka came out,
Oh.
Flocka is probably my favorite rapper.
I was gonna say,
Hell
how do you
yeah.
draw a line
His
between
heyday-
like math
now
rock
I-
and what you do now? Is Flocka sort of the bridge?
No.
A bridge, a part
Can
of
you
the bridge.
explain to me?
I like a lot of different arts, and I think they all kind of overlap in certain areas. And I think, you know, if I actually went to school, I was a painting major in art school at SCAD Atlanta. Savannah College of Art and Design, but it's the Atlanta branch. So I've always been into drawing. I was like really into art in high school and shit. And so
Yo.
I think it all overlaps, you know. And if I paint for a few months, I might, like, literally, I'm not even bullshitting you about this. I might make a breakthrough musically because of something I did in a painting, and like in some weird fucked up way in my brain,
No,
I'm like can apply it to music.
Do you
Yeah,
still
it all-
paint
it all-
and stuff?
it all-
Is
it all
is
relates
do you
to it.
still do other arts? You do,
Yeah,
you paint
yeah.
still?
I really don't have time for it. Lately I've just been doing kind of drawings, like little things on paper that I can just do, you know, like in like 30 minutes. And
What's your day to day, like average day, and
um,
include the drug?
I mean,
usage.
there's not really a schedule ever. I hate schedules.
But is there a
like-
drug schedule?
Yeah, I wake up I wake up every day and do some fentanyl and smoke weed. I usually do. I wake up and I smoke a cigarette because I'm fiending for a cigarette. But every time I wake up, so smoke a cigarette. Might smoke a bowl along with the cigarette. Usually smoke a cig and some weed before I do the fentanyl. But before I get out of bed, I'm going to have a fentanyl patch in my mouth because I'll probably start withdrawing. Like nowadays, I'll probably start withdrawing around 12 or something, or a little later on in the day.
Hey, but I don't keep a clock on me
because I don't fuck with time. You can schedule all you wanna. I'ma show up when it's right. I be slugging. You gon' have to wait in line. Ooh, I can't talk to these people. It's so stressful on my mind. Yeah.
You too. Look at you guys.
Like, this thing is turned.
It's like Dr. Dre and Eminem over here. Yeah.
I love Slugger's "ya" is amazing.
Yeah.
I learned that from Soulja Boy.
Do a few of yours. I like.
But isn't Cardi the current king of the ya? Or Uzi?
Cardi's
Uzi.
my little brother, man.
Is that how you feel? Yeah, because
No, me and him influenced each other, man. When we were making music before either of us got any hype or anything, we were both feeding off each other.
So how do you fit into the awful universe? Because this is a very important conversation.
How much do you like Booty Man?
How did you become a part of this? And
I met Booty Math at SCAD, actually.
Oh.
I met him.
So you don't know him
separate.
that well.
All right, guys, quit interrupting.
Sorry,
me.
we got chill. We got chill. We're getting hyped.
No, you need to chill.
I'm drunk.
I love Slugger, dude.
Dude, okay, I'll start off. The first person awful I met was Keith Charles because I was playing in Annihilator, which was a grind math band, and my bassist in that band sold weed, and so Keith Charles came through, bought some weed from him, and we were hanging out smoking a blunt, and this was 2010, and he was like, yeah, I rap and produce. I was like, cool, and I checked this shit out, and it was fucking awesome. And then I was like, yeah, I produce beats too, man. And I showed him some of my beats, and he really fucked with them. And I was like, yo, you playing any shows anytime soon? He was like, yeah, I'm playing actually this Saturday. And I was like, all right, word, man, I'm going to come through. So I came through, and with the bassist of my band at the time, Eric, and it actually was Ethereal's album release party show. For this album called Abstractica, which is a really dope album, and I don't even know if you can get it. Like, it's a real rare. He doesn't have it up. It's real rare. So that's where I met Ethereal, and I was blown away because me and him never met each other, but we were both making the same exact rap beats. Like, I was really into jazz and shit and jazz chord progressions, but I would do these jazz chord progressions and then put them on top of Atlanta trap drums. And it was real down tempo. It was like Zaytoven style drums and kind of Lex Luger-y, but like real down tempo. Ethereal was doing the same exact shit, but in a different way. You know, our beats sounded, they were both, you know, jazz chord progressions with Atlanta trap down tempo drums, but they both, you could tell which was ours, you know, which beat belonged to who.
Right.
And I went up to him, introduced myself. I was like, yo, man, I really like your production and the things I was saying to him. Like, he just fucked with me off that shit, you know. And this was before he ever had. This was actually when he first got signed to Yellow Wolf. He was on Slum American for a little bit. Back in the fucking day before.
Why didn't that work out?
Before Awful Records ever. That's a story for him to tell. I don't really know how it all worked out. But he was signed to Slum American for a little bit, and I was so happy for him because I always thought he deserved it, man. I always thought he was going to be the first one to really blow out of all of us. But yeah, I met OB and Keith. I met Keith and I met OB that night, Ethereal, and then me and Eric went and hung out with them one day, and I met Father that day. We went to Father's apartment, and yeah, just slowly met everyone kind of slowly after that. I met Booty Math in art school. He was an animation major, and I was a painting major, so we never had any classes together, but we both dropped out of SCAD. Now, I invited Zach Booty Math to a party that we were throwing at my guitarist's house in my band, at my band's place, and he comes there, and I invited Ethereal too, and a lot of the Awful homies. This was before Awful Records was ever a thing, and they came, and Ethereal and Booty Math knew each other, and I was like, y'all know each other? And they're like, yeah, we went to high school together. It was crazy, man. I met Booty Math independently from them, met them independently from them, but they knew each other, man. We were just all destined to be together, man, for real.
Was Ethereal always been in the wheelchair since you met
Yeah,
him?
ever since I met him. He actually has been in a wheelchair since high school. He has a degenerative disease that he was born with. When he was young, he used to could walk, and then he started having to walk with crutches, and then when he was in high school, that's when I think he went into the wheelchair. But it's funny, man, none of us even notice he's in a wheelchair anymore. Like, we'll just be walking, like, going down a staircase, and he'll just be, like, up at the top, and we'll be down at the bottom, and then he'll be like, guys, I'm in a wheelchair, remember? And I'm like, fuck, damn it. But it's cool, man. Like, it's
That's
like
hilarious.
Yeah, and
But does that piss you off that people have to like call attention to it and make a big deal
I mean,
out of it?
it's like, okay, Obi's in the wheelchair,
Yeah, you get
and
over it,
Slug's
right? Yeah.
the white guy,
Like, it's a novelty to other people, but to you, it's just annoying as
It's
fuck.
just
'cause it's
my
like-
group of friends, you
Right,
know?
yeah.
Sure,
But back to Ethereal, man, like, that's my big brother, man. I feel like he's the uncle that, like, kind of raised me, you know,
Right.
like, with rap, you know? And
Right, so how would you describe his role in Awful?
he really is responsible for bringing a lot of the people together. I think he brought Alexandria in, he brought Keith and Santel father in, and he just kind of brought a lot of the people, Narf too, I think. I'm not sure, don't quote me on all this, but he's responsible for bringing a lot of us together, and he's kind of like, he was the mutual friend kind of between a lot of us.
So I asked Booty Matt this too, but is father like the leader, or would you describe him as sort of a different role?
He started Awful Records. He
Right.
gave it a name. He decided who he wanted on his record label, chose everyone that's on there now, all people he had known for a while that he trusted, you know, people that he was cool with, people that he respected not only as people but also musically, artistically. And I would call him the leader, and he really inspired me, man. Like, he showed me that it's possible, you know, because McConan before Wrist, you know, he was the most glowed person that we knew, and he had like 2,000 followers.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
out in Atlanta, yeah.
It's crazy how it can go from that, because there's so many kids watching
is
this
so crazy,
that they
man.
have
Yeah.
2,000 followers.
Yeah. And
Me.
just
right here, yeah.
on that note, just believe in yourself, man, and
You could be
just
McConan.
always envision yourself, you know.
I could be Slug,
always
too.
never envision yourself in the gutter. Always, if you are in the gutter, look up at the stars, man, because, you know, just always envision yourself. That's what life is about, you know.
But what's
envisioning.
it like for you to watch McConan all of a sudden be a household name, and father's got
It's
this
funny,
giant
man.
hit,
It's
and-
funny, man. It's funny seeing Fat like that. Father, it's funny to see him too. It's funny to see him dealing with it too. It's also stressful to look at what they're going through, man. Because, like I was saying earlier, I'm stressed out by the amount of notoriety I have. Like, I see Fat, like, man, I know he's stressed out. Like, shout out Fat, man. You know, he's got to deal with a lot of shit, and you know, he's the type of guy who feels like this all kind of rests on his shoulders. This whole
Right,
awful
there's
thing,
gotta be
you know?
pressure, huh?
Yeah, lots of pressure, you know. And I love that guy, and I respect him a lot. And same with McConan, man. Like, seeing him blow up, it was so funny, man. When Tuesday blew up, because that was just a song, you know, like
right, any old song.
yeah,
It just happened to be that
I
catchy,
like
yeah.
that song. Yeah, it wasn't my favorite McConan hit or song or whatever or anything, but I learned a lot. But speaking on McConan, I just learned a lot from him as an artist. He's a real good guy, and I love that dude. But it was so funny because I was standing in Walgreens or Value. No, not Value Village. It might have been Value. I was standing in Value Village, and this old ass motherfucker, like, and this is East Side Atlanta, down Moreland, like in the middle of the hood, you know, kind of by Little Mexico out there, where Gucci Man
Shout out
stay.
Scooter.
Mexico
East
gang.
Side, Young
Scooter,
Scooter,
we need you out here.
Young Scooter, Gucci, you know, where they all from,
Yeah.
and Future too, you know, East Side. That was awful stomping grounds for a while too, and so I'm in this place. I see this old ass J motherfucker holding like a flip phone, playing Tuesday loud as fuck, walking through
On
there.
a on a junkie phone?
on a flip phone or something. He just looked like some old ass motherfucker. I don't know if he was a J or not. He looked like a past J at least, you know. But it was just so funny because this guy was blasting this song by my homie, and it was funny as fuck, man. Now also with McConan, man, I see it taking the toll on him too.
Yeah, no.
What, the fame?
We've all been, I've been seeing.
Because he gets it bad.
He's not,
He's in the
man.
news and shit,
McConan is not really a rapper, man. And I hate that
made him
he'll probably.
freestyle.
I don't know.
I got pissed.
I feel
I'm gonna
like
be right
I feel like he'd tell you that too. He's
he did say
a
that.
fucking artist, man. He's a singer. His music before he started rapping, he was playing piano and singing almost on some Elton John-esque shit. Like, but he's a singer-songwriter, man. And I feel like he's the new Frank Sinatra, but people just kind of think he's like
try to box
a
him
Fetty
in.
Wappy.
McConan, he needed more time to bubble underground. He needed more time to do all the shit he's doing right now. But Tuesday was this fluke that put him on this fucking world map.
Riss put him on the underground map.
Yeah.
It actually put
Riss,
put Key, Father, and McConan all on the underground map.
And they should have stayed there. But Tuesday just all of a sudden.
Well, you can't say they should have stayed there. You know,
That's inevitable.
I think McConan.
okay.
I think McConan, wanted to get. I think he wanted to get more money because
But
he just wanted to feed his family, and shit like that.
I'm talking about because he didn't stay there.
He didn't stay there long enough.
He was
right.
He was put in a world map.
He
and
didn't
all of a
get
sudden,
long enough to
he's gonna
kind
have
of
that
develop.
pressure, that extra shit.
I feel you, man. Yeah, and I am so happy for him and the success he's got, but I really do think about the toll it's taken on him because you can see it, man. And when I've talked to him since after Tuesday blew up and, he's become kind of a household name, and you can see it, and it's just sad because that happens to everyone that gets like on this.
On a crazy example, let's say the first song you ever recorded went platinum.
Okay.
For you.
Yeah.
Which was what? What was the first song you memorably remember?
Okay, the first song I recorded, I might have recorded something when I was younger, like when I was like 12 or something. I don't remember what it would be. But the first song I really recorded was my first band. I was 14. I was a freshman in high school. It was called Load, Click, Bang. I came up with the band name. It was a real scene gay-ass band. Like, it was horrible. We didn't know what the fuck we were doing. It was the first band any of us had been in. And we recorded this song called Me, Myself, and 10 Apples. And I wrote the guitar riff, actually, and made the guitarist in the band play it. And we had a drummer. We had no, we didn't have a drummer at the time, so we just recorded some shit. Like, our guitars recorded, on a cymbal and a snare. And it was just this really shitty metal song.
Yeah, so, if that band blows up, you guys become famous, all of a sudden, you got all this shit to deal with, all this money to break up. You don't know how to fucking deal with it. That just seems like...
I think I would drop off the map right then.
Yeah, it's
But
crazy.
Are you saying that's kind of like what happened to Father and McConan, sort of?
I'm just
No.
saying... No,
to
no,
a
no,
certain
no, no.
extent, though,
No,
that
no, no.
really early on they had these ridiculous
Not Father.
hits.
Not Father.
Yeah,
Right.
it wasn't early on.
Father never hit
Can we
McConan
smoke
status.
some more weed?
Yeah.
Yeah,
let's do
well, I
it.
mean, I got this
Vegan.
weed. Yeah, vegan. Well, I don't even know. This ain't enough for a whole blunt, is it?
we got paper.
Damn, we bum life out here.
Mod Son had all that weed.
Yeah, I got wood right here. Wait, no, I don't. Wait, I think I have.
I got Mod Son papers.
All right. Anyway, so question
Yo.
from your boy.
What's up?
All right, what's your status with Awful Records as of currently? Because I went to a father show out here last time, and you weren't on the tour. I don't know if you were on this whole tour.
Dude, I mean, just because I wasn't at the show across the country from where I live
on,
doesn't mean I'm not a part. Awful Records
I didn't say that
is
you weren't. I was asking. I'm saying, what's the current status? That's all I was asking.
the current status is the status has always been. Those
He's
are my
awful
brothers
game.
and sisters.
For sure. I was just asking, man.
Charlemagne over here trying to stir up some drama.
Jeez.
For real, bruh.
Yeah, I just tried to Charlemagne.
House phone the god.
Nah, man. This is my,
I
bro,
like that,
This
yeah.
is my nigga, man. I fuck with him. I just wanted.
I love you too, man. Just don't
I
ever
saw-
let it
yeah.
happen again.
Father put up a selfie and you weren't in it. I want to just ask about that.
Hey, yeah, hey, honestly, y'all all got me fucked up. Rope gang, hop in the comments and defend me.
Media take out house phone.
Nah, I'm just kidding. No.
All the Slug Christians tell House Phone he's a
Slug Christians,
Hey.
though. I like that. How'd you come up with that?
Do you feel like Slug Christ has told a single lie this entire episode?
Slug Christ has not told a lie.
I don't tell lies.
That's-
I am the worst actor. If I try to lie to you, you will know because I'll be like doing all this shit. Like even if it's like, yeah, man, I'm all like someone asked me if I'm okay. I'm like, yeah, man, I'm fine. Yeah,
Let's default to the girlfriend. True or false?
Yeah, he doesn't lie.
Doesn't lie, she says. Boom. It's verified.
we can work with that. I'm gonna use that to my advantage.
Is she trying to get you in rehab every day?
No. She just is worried about me.
She just
And she
care of
takes
you.
care of
She
me.
takes care of you.
Yeah, she's not my fucking, she don't tell me what to do. No one can. She just tries to look after me.
Deal with what you do.
That's why I like her, because a lot of these girls will sit there and watch me, snort like a gram of heroin and not think anything of it.
What do you provide for her? Like, what does she like about you?
I buy this bitch food all the time. Have you ever paid for
Beside-
food around me? And I
She said
love
no.
her and give her dick.
But do you
But you gotta be alive to do that.
do you end up with girls who are caretakers to a certain
Yeah,
extent?
I always do. Like the ones that I end up really liking are the ones that like don't do drugs at all, and because I need someone like that. If I had a girlfriend that was into like that's like me, dude, we would die.
Y'all both die together.
Yeah, and that sounds
Death
romantic,
gang.
I'm sure, to some of these bitches out here, but
Shout out Death Gang. Anybody's planning on dying soon
Nah,
is in
bro.
Death Gang.
We're not repping
I'm
Death
sorry,
Gang.
no Death Gang.
No,
Shut up.
listen,
Fuck Death
I'm
Gang.
like scared as fuck that like I'm gonna read a headline about Slugger in like 2 or 3 years. So I'm
you
just-
might, dude, and
I don't like
it doesn't
that, man.
matter.
I don't like thinking about that.
It doesn't
bro. I'm
matter,
about to
dude.
cry right
The
now.
world's gonna
That's
go.
life, though.
It's gonna keep going around. It doesn't matter if I kill
Hey, but-
myself tonight or not.
But you know what though, man? You already made your impact on the world.
I'm not
saying-
done yet, man.
Yeah, I'm not
House
telling
phone's
you.
so down
Let
with
him
people
go.
dying.
I'm not trying to tell him to kill
You know what,
himself.
man? It is all right if you die. You've
That's what
already,
he
you've
just
already
said.
like,
House
you've
phone's
already,
so down with the
yeah.
art. Yeah.
No,
You already peaked, bro.
This is
So
what I'm
later.
saying. No.
This one's for the
Y'all got
culture.
me all fucked up. I'm just saying.
Yeah, we all got you all fucked up every time you say something. It's
Anything.
almost like you are fucked up.
Yo,
Bang.
yeah.
Cut ass on this man.
I'm about to cry.
This man needs to be ass cut it on. You dig?
All right, all right, let me reword that. What I was saying is, you have a legacy that you've built, and you have an artistic capability that everyone respects.
Thank you. And
Yeah.
as long as I'm alive, I'm gonna keep it going.
Keep it
I don't
going.
care if I die tomorrow or when
I
I'm
do.
80. Thank
We
you.
all care, obviously.
I care.
You're trying to make
No,
me seem
House
like I
Phone
want my
doesn't
nigga to
give a
die.
shit.
Like y'all never kicked it with my nigga.
You're a little
I've
too
kicked it with him.
sympathetic to the
He
drug
has
user's
kicked it
cause.
with me.
I've
Yeah.
kicked it with him.
But
It's
I
kinda
mean,
gel.
I'm just saying,
fuck
like,
you guys,
as long as I'm here, whatever I'm doing, I'm gonna try to do it the best I can. Try to do something no
Yeah.
one else has done before. And if I die tomorrow, I die tomorrow. The world's
Please.
still gonna
All-
go.
All we're saying is like,
Will you
don't
guys
do that.
please quit interrupting me? Oh my God, is this interrupt Slug Christ jumper or no jumper?
Rope Gang's gonna love you.
Oh my God, bruh.
Rope Gang's
Is this
gonna
an
love you.
interview? I thought y'all were asking me the questions. Like,
No, speak, please, my brother.
Sorry.
what the? Okay,
apologize
if
for
I
his
die
horrible
tomorrow, the world's gonna go around, man. I'll have music there. I won't be able to help you through your problems anymore, but my problems are over, and it doesn't fucking matter, because in 100 years, all of us are gonna be forgotten, and we're not that big of a deal, man, and it's not that big of a deal.
Question though, what about your girl?
She not gonna be around.
I
in
mean,
100 years.
that's the only reason I haven't killed myself yet,
Thank
dude.
you.
Because
All right.
I know that, like, I mean, shot myself, like, not accidentally overdosed or something. I don't want to accidentally overdose, like, But I'm not saying it's not gonna happen. I don't know what's gonna happen. But like, that's because I love my friends, man. And killing yourself is selfish.
Yeah.
And because it leaves nothing but unsaid things and horror, and you're gonna make everyone feel so sad forever
Yeah.
if they really love you. So that's why I'm still here, because of my friends and for my fans too, that tell me that they need my shit. That's what keeps me going. That's what keeps me from not blowing my brains out when I wake up, because I feel like it sometimes, man. Straight up, like I feel like it, and I'm not gonna do it though, because I love the people that show me love.
No. Hey, you know what, bro? I feel like I feel like your mom is looking down on you, bro, and she's
Thank
proud
you,
of
man.
you or where you at, you know?
Yeah, I think she has a better understanding of me now. Like she knows what she was always worried about me on her deathbed, man. She said, "I'm worried about you. I'm worried about Chaz." And I think about it every day, man. Those are some lyrics in the song too. Like I talk about this shit, you know, and I think she understands why I do the things that I do, and I think she just has a better understanding because she can see me. She can see my soul now. You know, she's not looking at me through this lens, her lens of perspective. And you know, she's in a cool place. You know, and I think she's with me now forever. Always. You know, not just when I see her.
No, for real, man. And hey, honestly, like. And like I respect you so much for that, bro. Real shit.
Thank you, man.
You know, a lot of people like don't know how to handle that shit. And
I didn't know how to handle it for a while, man.
You know what? It's all a process, bro. We all gotta learn.
For real, man.
You know?
I mean, Ethereal lost his mom actually right after I met him, or right before I met him, about 5 or 6 years ago now. So I look to him. He helps me a lot for guidance, man. That's my big brother, you know, like. And he like, you know, I help him too, man. We might be twin brothers. That's how I call me and Cardi. I call him my twin brother. So I don't feel like he's my little brother anymore.
Yeah, bro.
But yeah, like Obi helps me a lot because he knows what it's like. You know, this Mother's Day was so horrible, bro. Like it was my first Mother's Day, you know, since it happened, and I had to leave the house. I couldn't be around anyone. I was in the middle of Decatur in Atlanta, and so I just had to find some place where I could be. I went and walked in the middle of the woods, just where no one could talk to me, and I could, you know, cry and not have to worry about people asking me if I'm all right and all this shit.
Yeah.
And I went and asked Obi about it, and I was like, you know, man, you know, does it get better? And he's like, yeah, man, and it's always going to be there, and maybe it doesn't get better per se, but you just quit thinking about it less and less, you know. But he was saying he was torn up that day too, you know, because on Instagram it's just like, oh, me and my mom, you know, and you can't escape shit like that. And but yeah, I love Obi. I love Ethereal, man. He's a good brother, man. And I wouldn't describe him anything else other than my brother, like straight up. He's helped me through a lot of shit with my mom and everything.
Can you see like a future for yourself long term without drugs, or is that just not even on your?
I'm gonna smoke weed till I die.
Okay, yeah, but without the hard stuff.
Who knows, man? Like maybe if I fucking, you know, have a change of heart, I don't know what's gonna happen. You know, I really don't.
But do you think it's like a change in philosophy? Because you seem like you're pretty okay with the idea of like dying young and being this sort of rock and roll.
I don't think doing drugs is good like that, man.
But you
I'm not. I don't want to be a rock and roll.
Cliche.
I don't think doing hard drugs. I think doing weed and mushrooms and some acid is good for you.
Mm-hmm.
But
that's a different thing than what
yeah,
I'm
exactly,
about,
exactly. But Xanax, you know, the shit that numbs you out, like opiates, like I don't condone that to anyone, and I would never let anyone. I don't let my friends hit no motherfucking heroin. You know, that's the way it goes. I don't condone that shit. But you know, if I want to live a longer life, I have to quit. Right now, I don't plan shit, you know. Right. I think about getting through the day and, you know, having fun that day, getting work done that day, this week, you know. Most I plan out is like the week.
Right.
I just go with the flow, dude. I'm a Pisces. I'm just a fish in the river. I'm just seeing where the river take me.
Well, let me ask you this, though. What makes you happy on a day-to-day basis?
Making music is the most creating is the most fulfilling thing I've ever experienced. There's nothing better than hearing a song in your head than either sitting at the piano or guitar or the Ableton on the computer and actually putting what you hear into your head, exactly how you hear it, onto reality and on the guitar, on the computer. You hear a beat in your head and you hear the melody. You put the melody in. You hear the percussion. You put the percussion in. There's nothing more fulfilling. You put the vocals on it. It sounds perfect. There is nothing better than that, dude. It gives me goosebumps thinking about it right now. Also, what keeps me going is my friends, man. Like my awful friends, the friends I made through music. My homies D-Lop, shout out D-Lop, shout out Josh Cash. I've known Josh Cash since I was in kindergarten. I'm still homies with him.
That's crazy.
Yeah, he's not into drugs like me. You know, he smokes weed and drinks beer or whatever, but that's all he do. He might take acid like once a year if you force him to or something, you know. Yeah. But yeah, he helped me a lot through my mom's death and everything, and helps me through everything, man. Always been there for me. There's been times when we haven't hung out, but he will probably be my friend forever. Same with D-Lop. Same with everyone in Awful.
Yeah, man.
That's what's up.
That's the loyalty, man.
Is there anything we should talk about before we wrap this up?
We're already wrapping it up.
Yeah, it feels like we're wrapping it up, right? The tempo.
What do you want to know? Future projects?
Yeah, future projects.
Okay, Keyboard Kid. I'm dropping an album called The Demiurge. Demiurge. I want y'all to Google it. I'm not gonna explain it to y'all, but it's some cool shit. Actually, okay, I'll explain to you what a demiurge is.
Sure.
The source of all life, God. These are old pagan philosophical ideas. And the God is the source. What everything is made out of is God, basically. Now, God is all-knowing and is pure love. She created a son. She had a son that she blocked off. And all that her celestial son knew was himself. And he created this world that we live in. Now, he thinks he is the only God. So he's basically a blind, batshit insane from being a lone God who has created the reality and society that we live in now. And that's why everything is fucked up, because the one true God didn't make this reality. The demiurge made this reality.
Okay.
So that is my album. That is a EP album. It's going to be around 7 songs, something like that, I think. And it's Keyboard Kid produced the whole thing. I don't know if y'all don't know who Keyboard Kid is. Fuck who's dying right now?
Yeah. Stop.
Damn it.
Live.
Keyboard Kid is
fucking dying.
A pretty much second in command of Bass World. He's Bass God's go-to producer. He has produced a lot of shit for Bass God. So I'm doing this for Bass World. I consider myself a bass artist. I freestyle everything. Most of it's bass freestyle.
This was on my list of questions that I didn't actually ask. Is like, yeah, you so rep Bass World super hard.
Right.
What's up with what does bass mean to you, and what Lil B mean to you? And
okay. When I first Lil B, I thought he was funny. You know, the more I listened to him, the more I grew to realize that he's doing he's breaking so many rules. Marcel Duchamp was an artist in the 1910s who would do things like hang a shovel in the corner of the room and call it a sculpture. Now, that's what I compare Bass God to now, doing the same things. This was in the 1910s when people were painting objective landscapes. He was doing shit like that. He took a fucking urinal, put it on the side, and wrote some numbers on it and called it a sculpture. He called it Fountain. He took the Mona. This is a very famous painting. It's where the Mona Lisa with the mustache on it gets that whole whatever comes from. He made a piece of art. This is high art in the 1910s. Took a postcard of the Mona Lisa, drew a mustache on it, and wrote LHQQ, something like that, which is abbreviation. It's like L dot, dot like that, and it's an abbreviation for a French term that means she has a hot ass. And he drew a mustache on it, called it a drawing, hung it up, and hung it up in the middle of in a art gallery, and I feel like that's what Bass God is doing for art these days.
I would agree.
So
How could you not agree with that? Bass God's breaking all kinds of ground.
Are you interested in like reinterpreting like what rap music can be, and like because
I do it on a daily basis every time I go in the studio.
Right, I totally agree. That's kind of what the interpretation.
I feel like I'm more of a Jackson Pollock.
Okay.
Because I feel like I'm throwing paint on the canvas. People say you're a good rapper if you can paint a picture.
Right.
I'm not painting a fucking landscape, bro. That was for kids, and those for dudes like Nas in the 90s and shit and 2000s. Like, we're throwing paint on canvas. We're painting non-objective, abstract paintings now. And if you ain't with it, you ain't with art, bro.
Right.
So I feel like I'm throwing paint on the canvas. You know what I'm saying?
That is definitely how I would classify it. But how do you decide what deserves to be on the mixtape if you've thrown the paint on the canvas 100 times?
I really release every song I make because every
You do?
song,
Okay.
yeah, especially if I produce it because I like them all. How I make my albums, I will make a bunch of songs, and if it's a super duper dope ass song that I think is album worthy, I'll sit on it and just throw it in the album folder.
Okay.
And that's how I come up with my albums.
Right. But you say that, like, in terms of quantifying how good every song is, it's like completely.
I think
up for
all my
grabs
songs
on
are
every
good,
single
man. I might put one up. If I'm making, I make songs for a tape, right? I have the idea for a tape, right? And I'll make songs, and most of the songs I make for the tape end up being on the tape, and I put out the whole tape. Usually, if I make a song, you will hear it. I will drop it on my SoundCloud
Right.
in one way or another.
You think you have that relationship with your fans too, that they actually they expect to hear every single iteration from you?
I
or
don't know
what?
if they know that or not, but I think they kind of have an idea of something like that because I put out a lot of music, if it be it a single or a tape or something. But I put out a lot of music, and I really try to make music every day. I haven't been lately because I've been going through some very uninspired times and shit, and I've just been trying to take a break from it. But last night I was in the studio and came up with a fire song, made the beat there and everything, and it was fire as fuck. So
Really?
yeah.
Let me get that. Dude, this has been a very interesting interview.
So after my Keyboard Kid EP, the Demiurge, and there's a lot of bass freestyles on it, straight up bass freestyles. It's got features from Ethereal. It's got a feature from Stalin Majesty. Might have a feature on it from Lord Narf, but it's all awful features.
So
Then
you said you freestyle every song?
yeah. I
Every
don't.
song.
Well, I don't. Some of them are bass freestyles. You know, it's just straight up like no stops or anything. Straight up freestyle it. Now, I learned a lot from Lil Wayne's process. And I get a lot of comparisons to Young Thug because I think that's because we're both crazy and like we both worship like lean era good Lil Wayne, like 09 through like 11, I would say.
Right.
That was my favorite Wayne phase, was when he was just so fucked up on lean, like auto-tune every song. That shit was goddamn beautiful, bro.
Drought 3.
So you could see Thug in yourself because you both come from like a relatively similar.
I don't
like,
see him in myself. I understand the comparisons I get to him.
Right.
Yeah.
Because you guys, well, he's very, when you talk about like putting out everything you do and like sort of letting people have a window into your creative process, he's sort of the most mainstream version of that.
Yeah, definitely. So I understand the comparisons like that. And so what I'm saying is I will freestyle a bar or two, maybe take a step back and listen to it, see if I like it, and then kind of think about where I want to go from there. And it's I just don't write anything down, and
Right.
It just depends on the song, I might write something down, if I want to if I have a real technical line that I'm trying to figure out, I just can't free it for whatever reason. I'll write it down so I can do it. I don't follow any rules or anything. Once you follow rules and once you have a creative process like that, it kind of becomes uncreative.
Let me ask this though: is that you've seen Father and Mako and McConan have these big ass hits? Could you ever imagine yourself meandering into that position by accident?
Yeah, it'd be by accident because I don't want to be in that scene at all, man. I want to if I do, I want to come up like Gucci, man. I respect Gucci's come up because it was a slow come up and he amassed all these fans, like people that blow up like like and all of a sudden that's all anyone's talking about. That's how their career that's how it ends
It's
too.
super hard to
Soup
navigate
fizzles
that,
out real quick like that. Now Gucci had a slow come up. Gucci brought us Thug. He brought us Pee Wee Longway. He brought us Nicki Minaj.
OJ, Migos, fucking Thug,
Scooter, fucking
Young Dro, not Young Dro, but Young Dolph, fucking
Man.
infinite names, yeah.
And you can't say that about a lot of artists, And I want to have a career like that, a slow come up, where a longevity. I might not be rapping my whole career, but I'm painting, guitar, singing. Maybe I will be rapping. I don't know. Scoring movies, like I was saying, scoring video games. making movies. I like making cartoons. You know, who the fuck knows what's gonna happen? You know, but yeah.
That's dope.
But after the Demiurge is my I might drop a tape with Left Brain, but 3 songs.
That's a random connection.
Yeah, I'm homies with Left Brain and Mike G, like really good homies with Mike G. Yeah. So but I don't think so. I think after the Demiurge, I'm gonna drop my next self-produced album, which is the sequel to the Crucifixion album, which is Me in the Middle of the Street with the Naked Girl.
Right.
The sequel to that is going to be the full title, shorthand was the Crucifixion, but it was called The Crucifixion, a rapper extraordinaire, Slug Christ. This one is The Resurrection. This is the resurrection of the sunlight drunken slugger. And I don't think I'm going to talk about the album art. I want it to be a surprise, like how the other one was. But if y'all were mad at that album art, y'all are going to be really mad at this album art.
I'm ready.
Yeah, so it's fully produced by me except for one song, which was produced by Dexter, Free Dexter. That's my brother, man. That's my big brother. Y'all can buy shirts for him. All the money that you buy from him, it's on the Awful Twitter. It's the pinned tweet up there at the top. All the proceeds go to put all the money that we make on that. We're putting on the books on it, and while he's in jail, in prison.
Oh yeah. Shit.
How long is he in for?
I can't talk about anything.
Yeah. Slug Christ.
Welcome to No Jumper. Don't talk about shit.
Well, I'm trying to look out.
No, Slug, that's not about you. It's about everybody who's been on this. Like everyone has got some like I don't want to talk about.
We're with the
still
feds.
open.
No, I know y'all aren't the feds, but
No, the feds watch.
Yeah.
The feds are literally
Feds
watching.
gang. Shout out Feds gang.
Hey, Slug. Adam is low-key feds.
I think he is, bro. He's been like negative all night, and feds are hella negative.
I'm out here.
Hey, it's confirmed, bro.
Wait,
Hey.
Slug, do you think he's been negative all night, or you just
I'm
joking?
just
Yeah, right.
Okay.
I'm passionate. I'm loving this.
I've
This
been
is
fucking.
amazing.
Yeah,
This has been really
I like
good.
this guy.
No,
Slug,
it's
can we
amazing.
be honest?
What?
I like him too.
We didn't know what you were gonna bring to this,
Yeah.
because I think you have like different guys you could have brought, and you brought like insightful, intellectual Slug.
I know people think I'm just a fucking drug addict, fucked up dude. They don't. I mean, that's another thing, man. People create an image of you in their head
They do.
after listening to one song that was called Heron, and like then they judge your entire life off of a verse you freed.
Hey,
You know?
Right.
Hey, but you know what though? Like, I feel like you're so confident in yourself, and you're confident about the people that you have inspired and the people that you've touched, to where you don't give a fuck about that.
I do not, man.
You know?
I don't give a fuck
And
about
like that's
a lot of things.
that's the fucking way you should live your life, man.
Thank
That's
you,
why
man.
we're able to see you in this like raw creative state constantly,
bro.
I guess, you know?
And
For sure.
It's so appreciated. You feel me? 'Cause
The good and the bad.
If I can influence, I don't want to influence people, but if I could, I would say don't listen to anyone. Don't give a fuck about anyone. What people think about you is none of your business. You need to look at a fucking tree, look at what it's doing. It's out there growing, not worrying about the trees around it. It is just trying to grow.
That's what's up.
Yeah,
Slug
shit.
Christ. #1 in the game.
And if a tree grows into another tree, it grows around it, bro. It just
Yeah, they
figures
just
out a
grow
way.
into each other. Like,
We
yo,
Siamese twins,
yo, what's up,
bro.
man?
Hey, what's up, tree? I'm keep going.
All right, yeah, I'll catch you later up at the top.
Yeah, except oh my god.
I think
That's it.
You nailed it.
I know.
Who do you need to
I
thank?
always do.
Give a
Who do
couple
I need
thanks.
to? Who do I need to thank? I need to thank Naja, my baby girl over there on the stairs, for giving me a place to stay the whole time I've been in LA.
That's beautiful.
And
That's love.
I need to thank my brothers and sisters at Awful Records. Shout out Divine Minds. Clothing company I just came out with this shirt with. It's sold out.
Awesome
You can't get
collab.
it anymore.
Awesome
Did you
collab.
see it? You
Yeah.
see it?
Mhm.
Shout out Lost Appeal. Just sold out of shirts that I did with them.
Is that the one you're wearing at him? The Lost Appeal one or the Divine Minds?
I was wearing a Lost Appeal on him, but
Hypebeast sounds fun.
we made a Slug Christ Lost
Yeah.
Appeal shirt. It's like kind of a
Hype
deathcore
phone.
logo.
It
It
was
says "Kill Slug Christ at all costs" on the back.
on the back, like,
Yeah.
like on the ass part.
Yeah, yeah.
What's up?
And shout out my mom up above. I love you. I know you're proud of me. Shout out all the Slug Christians. Like, I know I'd be kind of wilding out on Twitter, acting mad or whatever, but I love y'all. Y'all are the reason that I'm able to survive, and I'm going to stay slugging for y'all if y'all stay slugging for me.
Man, for real. Shout out to this Dragon Ball Z backpack right here. That's fucking rare as fuck.
Yeah, it's beautiful. A fan sent it to me. Shout out that guy.
That is beautiful.
That's tight.
Slug Christ, pretty amazing interview, I got to say. This has been an amazing night.
It's been a really good night, man.
Thank you very much to Roseman wearing his new Mod Sun apparel. Thank you very much to House Phone wearing his new Beanie Siegel apparel. And thank you very much.
Thank you very much for
Slug
Adam
Christ.
22 looking like Human Shrek on camera.
That's the only line you got on me.
Adam,
You also look like a
Feds
neo-Nazi
22.
member.
But you look like Memphis Bleak. And crying Jordan. Please.
Began looks like Bob Marley's white offspring son. Okay.
Cool. All right.
This has been No Jumper.
It's been fun.
Hey, follow me on Twitter, Instagram, all that shit.
No, don't follow.
Follow Slug Christ.
Slug Christ. Sure.
My Twitter is @slug_Christ. My Instagram is @sus_Christ.
Roseman
Just
season.
Google me. Just Google Slug Christ.
Roseman season 7 just dropped.
We're already like
7
4
just dropped.
Everybody here at the table's got one.
All right, y'all, let's get it.
I just,
Woo!